Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come in riding high. Just 1 loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Yeah, let's get set lunch. Alert 3.
And he'll give it here to his running back. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And one advantage for this offensive unit is the big target, Mike Evans.
Play to his strength, his size and catch radius. Throw it up there, let him go get it.
Go on.
Second and 5 now. Winston. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The numbers for Evans a week ago: 7 catches, 62 yards, and a touchdown. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Now an open man. That's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does because you're...
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Danielle Hunter in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now a handoff here to his running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Working out of the gun, Winston. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away, under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Leo, go. Fair. We got double up. Ready.
A former Seminole back home in Florida. It's Dalvin Cook. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
No chance.
Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game, because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field.
Hey, shoot.
They'll try and throw for it here. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
On the ready.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now Cook running right. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. Cook struck, the ball's out, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Winston now after the fumble recovery. He completes it to Evans. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Tampa Bay. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. 2nd quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Jameis now on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mike Gesicki, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Watch tight. Tight is right.
To throw, Winston. And this is caught by Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay.
Hey, check, Mike 57, Mike 57. Let's go, defense. Out of time. Check 50, check 50.
They'll run on first down. Akers. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the 45 on second down, Winston. And he will find his man on the outside. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 25-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 45 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now back to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Looking to throw, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. In for the score, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe somebody to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. Here's Winston. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Winston. And he's got his man on the out route. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, does it bring in your tight end, keep him in? Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Switch up, Mike, 54. Mike, get it.
2nd and 10. He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Hey, come on, hey, orbit.
Hey, one set. Check Mike, 54. Mike, 54. I know he ain't got it.
Lead grip.
They'll throw now on the final play. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. So we're at halftime with our score 7-6 in a tough-fought first half. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
So here are the Vikings to take over. They were winners last week in that game against Kansas City, and they are on top right now as well. They've got it 1st and 10.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Go.
Right there, 54, Mike.
Hey, stand up. Ready?
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Going to throw right side here. Complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point attempt to follow here. And it's up. It's good. Our score 14-6. set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Jameis Winston and the rest of the Bucs set to begin this next drive. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned,
the Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Ready? White 25. So we got man.
From the gun, Winston. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. On 2nd and 15 now. Winston. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Hey, let's get that ball, man. Let's get that ball right here. Check. Cross. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Akers. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
This will be fielded at the 17. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10.
Score.
He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Check back. Right there. 54. Right there.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A very solid gain of 27. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to a zone blitz scheme.
And it'll be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Winston. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Winston. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run the counter. Akers. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. The defensive line made pretty easy work of the offensive line that time.
And people get tired of the cliche that the battle is won in the trenches. But it's a cliche because it's true. And how about the battle right there? One on the edge, and the ball carrier did not benefit.
Pull it together.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
Jameis to throw it. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Right there.
Hard.
They'll set up a throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Hey, box truck.
Check. Watch 54.
Let's get it together, defense.
They're going to look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone plunk it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Tampa, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And now out comes Minnesota. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Hey, wahoo!
Watch my board.
Get it.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. Now this throw caught left side, and he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 22 yards there, a first down. This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it first and 10.
Leo.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll drop to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
To throw is Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Winston now. He's got Evans. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first. Winston now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. They're going to try for it on 4th. Winston stays out there. Winston to throw for it on 4th. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Double time, double time. Three down.
Alert. Look at me. Zipper.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Ready, set.
Here we go. Double time.
Another run here with Sanders. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Sanders. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Watch twitch.
X3, 218, chop.
Switch.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And his kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. One last shot now for Winston. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, Charles, a pretty exhilarating finish to the end of this ball game. At the end, the Hail Mary prayers, though, they went unanswered. Could have won it, but couldn't get it done.
Almost felt schoolyard or playground, didn't it? You know, you remember when you called that play? Everybody just go long and try and find someone open. They gave it a shot, but unable to successfully complete it.
So for Minnesota, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.